Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday night. It is time to talk business. It's the one and only Dr. Drax. Good evening, Drax.
Hey, how are you, John? Good to be here tonight.
Doing well, doing well. It's been a while. We haven't had a chance to get together and talk shop and talk business for a while, so I'm excited that we get to get back to it this summer.
Yeah, I'm excited because I see so much Facebook chatter about being a DJ, being a business. You're an ex-DJ until someone asks for X or until you take something away or until X, Y, or Z. And it brought a lot of thoughts out that there's a lot of people becoming DJs that actually don't know how to be a DJ. They don't know where to start, and they think just having gear makes you a DJ. Rather, it becomes something I think they need to know the steps to become a real DJ.
And I think that's where we're going to head off with our tips tonight for those of you who are just getting started. Now, if you've been into it for a while, there might be some information that will help you, but we want to basically start and put some tips out there for beginner DJs. And a lot of you might have seen some of our other business discussions we've had. That playlist is down in the description below. And we dig into a couple of videos. One that was probably our most popular, Drax, was the full schedule. Video we did. There have been people, they came up to us at the DJ convention after we did that one and were, wow, I never thought about it. This just changed my whole way of thinking. So you guys definitely bounce down into the description at some point in time after you watch the show and check out some of the others in the playlist. So
yeah, actually I've taken that into a whole seminar called 42, The Power of Numbers, which really delves into it at length. And I look forward to our getting back and revisiting those. But I thought we could start off with some great basic place points for where you start as a DJ.
For sure. So let's just jump into it. We've got 5 tips for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to make this quick. We've got about a half hour, and then we're going to be resetting, and we'll be back with Brian Red at about 9 o'clock. The link for the 9 o'clock show is also in the description. You guys can check that out. But Drax, let's get into our 5 tips, things that DJs need to be thinking about in order to be successful when they start out their business.
Why are you becoming a DJ? Seriously. There are easier ways to make money.
Hang on a sec. I want to put you full screen one more time. That way you can really ask the question. Full screen, go.
Why are you becoming a DJ? Seriously. Honestly, there are easier ways to meet girls. There's easier ways to make money. And there's easier ways to get free drinks. So now we've pretty well covered the 3 basic reasons people become a DJ. Oh, I forgot the 4th, because they think they're really good at it. They love music. But let's step back and let's discuss why you should be a DJ.
So that opens up, because you covered a lot of as we asked that question, you covered in that little bit a lot of the big reasons for it. And I think the only other one is the guy that would say, or the gal that would say, I can pick music better than that person over there.
Well, today, most DJ software can pick music better than most DJs. When you add in harmonic mixing, auto harmonic mixing, and auto beat mixing, now couple that in with crowdsourcing, which now most of the really good tools can give you crowdsource suggestions of what to play after what. Mm-hmm. Well, imagine the software just says, hey, I just played Living on a Prayer. Next song is going to be X because that's been seen to be played by hundreds of other DJs together well. If you're trying to press yourself on knowing music better than someone else, it's a bad problem. It's a bad place to start. What you really want to focus on is why. And there should only be one reason you become a disc jockey business: to make money. That's it. Make money. Lots of money. That's the objective of being a DJ. If you're not in the business to make money, then what you really are is supplanting a hobby interest in music. Mm-hmm. So, as I said, you can meet girls or guys in hundreds of other easier, less expensive ways. Would any of us spend $10,000 to randomly meet strangers for dates?
Well, there might be some.
Hey, eHarmony or Match.com, I'm sure, is a lot cheaper than buying
your big DJ gear.
Exactly. So, you need to decide what it is you're doing, why you're doing it. And that comes down to the next thing, which is, hey, don't run out and buy a bunch of gear. Here's a news flash. You can rent everything you want. I did.
Mm-hmm.
When I got back in the business, I rented everything for almost 8 months. And people go, well, that was crazy. That was dumb. And I go, no, I got to sample all of the best speakers and pick the one that I liked.
Right.
I got to try a bunch of different lights, pick the ones I like. I found, which players worked best, which controller I liked best. I found real world examples, not going on Facebook and saying, hey, what controller should I buy?
Mm-hmm.
What software should I install? I downloaded demos of every software, PC DJ, DJ Power, Tractor, BPM Studio, I think was back in the day. Tons of software, tried them, settled up the one I liked, committed to it, built my system around it. So don't feel the need to rush out and buy gear, because owning gear doesn't make you a DJ. It makes you somebody that spent a lot of money for a really big stereo system.
And I think the idea of renting is really valuable. With one other aspect is that when we first start out, we're going to buy whatever we can afford.
Yep.
And that's never a great way to decide on what kind of gear. I mean, how many times have you and I done things like that where it's like, I only got this much and I'm going to do that. Whereas if we would have just been a little patient and maybe rented, and yes, maybe some money would have been thrown away, but I can't tell you the number of pieces of gear I've got out there that I bought because that I needed something. I was desperate for something and I figured I'm going to buy it. And I used it once and it's like, I don't like that. And I end up going
exactly.
and buy another one.
Now take the further worst case scenario. You decide after 6 or 8 months, this kind of sucks. This is a lot of work. I'm away from my family. I don't really have the social life I used to have on the weekends.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah.
And you go, the last thing you want to be at that point is straddled with $10,000 or $6,000, $8,000 of equipment that you now have to pedal for 50 cents on the dollar for doing it. Mm-hmm. So rent gear. You can rent it for about 10% of its purchase price. Now, if you rent it dozens and dozens of times, you'll say, oh, but you could have owned it by that point. You're right, to some extent. But when you do it, it trains you to put that rental cost as part of your OPEX instead of a capital expenditure. Now, because it's an OPEX, it's completely deductible from the bottom line in that year. Whereas if you buy $7,000, $8,000 of equipment, you may or may not be able to deduct it all or depreciate it all in a single year. So there's definitely some advantages, some tax advantages, as well as some solid business advantages of, you're going to go out with the very best equipment instead of the worst.
Yeah.
You're not going to go out with 2 10-inch speakers. You're going to go out with 2 15 cabs and a sub if you want. You've got the ability to do things uniquely. So
for sure.
Seriously evaluate building a real business before you buy gear. And what that would start with is build a written business plan. Mm-hmm. You need to write down what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, what your perceived costs are, fuel, vehicle, telephone, website, web hosting, music. Here's a clue. Just because you're starting out doesn't give you the right to steal music. If you get it for free, it's stealing. End of story. It's stealing. There is no websites. There are no websites on the internet that provide you with free music without any kind of expense.
Yep.
It is stealing. So to that end, I'd promote you should join up with Promo Only, DM Studios, RPM Top Hits. Those are the 3 major pools that are legitimate pools and are legal. Why? Because they're at every DJ show.
Yep.
They wouldn't be having that exposure if they weren't. Next thing you do is you join this. You join the American Disc Jockey Association. It establishes that you're actually seriously contemplating being a professional DJ. That now allows you to also connect into our network, which gets you free business coaching from myself, free legal advice, free accounting advice, gets you into our network, which allows you to be mentored by other great professionals. Literally anyone that you can think of in the industry is a member of the American Disc Jockey Association. So as we talk about a written business plan, it needs to be dialed out with all of your expenses. That's actually in one of those videos in the playlist right below us.
Yep.
There's an expanded, almost a whole hour on that topic by itself.
Yeah, we really dug into that one well, so you guys can really get a lot of information from that video.
Now, the next thing you want to think about in this process is, okay, you're going to be a DJ. What's going to be your unique selling proposition, your value add? What will make you different than the other 150 or 200 guys already in your market? Please don't tell me you're going to be cheaper. That's dumb. People don't become carpenters and say, how cheaply can I become a carpenter? They set a goal from a business plan of what they need to earn. And they don't charge less than what the plan tells them they need to charge to make it happen and to earn money and to work. Now, having said that, I'm a big proponent of developing your skills, selling what you have honestly at the level that you're at, building a full calendar to where you're working 40 plus events a year and raising your rates based on very traditional business indicators. Your conversion ratio, the number of leads that you get, things of this nature, which I think we also covered in one of those earlier threads down below.
Yep.
Because those are important, because when you build your rate increases based on solid statistical models, you won't fail at raising your price, really. Because when people fail at raising their price, it's because they raised it based on ego or they raised it based on someone told them they should. Don't raise your price because someone else tells you to. Raise your price because the market says you're worth more. The way it'll do that is, here's a clue. If you're booking 80 or 90 or 100% of everybody that calls you, you're too cheap. Raise your rates. Your business plan right from the get-go should help you establish a legitimate real price, because in the end, what we want to do is build DJs capable of earning a living as a mobile DJ.
Yep.
Now, I don't care if you have another career that you're passionate about. I've got a couple things I'm passionate about. But the key is to build your DJ business such that it can provide all of the things that you need in life. Because if it's a part-time job for you, it comes at a higher price of time with your family. So there should be a premium for that. And now what you want to do is you want to develop that business to where it's a replaceable income, where if you got laid off, I don't care. My DJ business can easily provide for our family.
Yep.
Provide for you. Your life can go on. Some will talk about jumping into being full-time. Don't. Whatever that is, don't.
Technical foul, timeout.
I'm not suggesting don't become full-time, but what I'm suggesting is most people that try to go full-time fail for a couple of reasons. They haven't developed a clientele, they haven't developed a market strategy, and most importantly, they haven't developed the economic security to not make them grossly needy. If you go full-time and you don't have an established calendar and money in the bank, you feel, I got to book every person that calls me because you need money, money, money.
Yep.
And what you need to be is be in the position of, I've got 6 months of income covering all my basic expenses for myself and my family in the bank. Now my DJ business can work and I can grow that full-time opportunity in a way that doesn't shortchange my business. I'm not going to go, I better give a discount today because I need a discount because I need to book somebody so I've got the mortgage for next week.
Yep.
Or next month's mortgage. These things are really important. They probably seem like, well, duh, to a lot of folks. But for a lot of people starting out, they don't.
Yep.
Or they become part-time and say, well, because I have a day job, I can be cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's just dumb. Why do you want to work 100 hours a week to make the same money you'd make if you took a job at McDonald's?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
That's a real reality here.
For sure.
If you haven't got a real business plan, you're going to be working for or less McDonald's money. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah.
Because when you call other DJs and go, hello, I would like to fire a DJ for 1 hour or for 4 hours. how much do you charge? You're going to get somebody else probably as equally uneducated giving you a price, and you'll go, well, I'll be $50 less than him. And the next thing you know, you go, wow, I'm doing a lot of work to pay for Jack in the Box or Waffle House on the way home. So build a real business plan.
Yeah, Drax, let's take a break here. We've got a couple of sponsors we want to. As one of them actually is Top Hits USA, which is one of the big supporters. I want to come back though after our break and talk about. Let's dig into when we were talking about how to be different than others in the market. Let's dig into how to do some research, because you're just heading there to research other DJs in your market. So, gang, we'll be back in 1 minute. These are some of our sponsors. We've got Top Hits USA. We've got Color Key LED, Electro Voice, and DJ Event Planner as our sponsors for tonight's show.
Top Hits USA from RPM. Our name says it all. Get the latest hits while they're the hottest. With Top Hits USA, you'll have the track for sure. Visit tophitsusa.com or call 800-521-2537 and get a free demo.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is our sponsors, or those are our sponsors for summer 2016. So please go down, and the link should be in the description below, unless maybe I didn't put them in there. I'll have to check. But show them some love, because they're the ones, these are supporters of the industry. These are some of the big supporters that are at the shows and in the different things. So again, Top Hits USA, Electro Voice, Color Key, LED, and Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner. There we are. I'm going to make sure I have them all. So, Drax,
did I mention how much I love my EV ETX speakers?
Yeah,
I love them. They are so amazing.
Yeah. The ETX and the EKX, the last two that they've released, have just been fabulous, and DJs across the country just rave about them. Great stuff.
Sorry to get off track. I just had to give a shout out to Mike DeSo, because those are just killer speakers.
Yeah, they are good stuff. Okay, before our break, we were headed in this direction. I wanted to kind of put a pause in it, but when we are trying to set ourselves apart, one thing that I find from a lot of DJs that are just starting out, and I'm talking to them, and the reason why they're getting started out is because I can DJ better than a guy who did my wedding. The number of times I've heard that statement. And the thing is, they're like, every DJ in my market sucks. And yet I know a couple of those markets that I have performed in, and Bill Herman has performed in, and any number of other DJs. So we know that not every DJ in those markets suck, only the ones that they see. There's some things that when DJs are doing some research in the area to find out the quality of the DJs in there that perform in the area, is there some way they could do that, or some suggestions you could give for that?
Well, there's a couple of things. One, you can search YouTube for your market space for disc jockeys. You'll get some ideas. But overall, what you really have to address is not what do other people do, but really you got to find out, what am I good at? What can I do? What can I polish and hone into a unique piece of my sales? When I started my company, I did something no one else ever did. Everybody, even some large named people, were so much money for 4 hours. Mm-hmm. When I was competing with $400 DJs at $2,500, it was very difficult to say I'm $2,500 for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I said I'm $2,500 for your event, whatever it takes. I'm all in. Now, you might look at that and go, you could play till 3 or 4 in the morning and yada, yada, and all the various excuses. Here's something for you. Almost every consumer can do basic math. when you start getting your fee to a point that it's actually livable, they can do basic math and they can divide and go, oh my gosh, I'm paying this guy more money than my doctor or my lawyer because you're misrepresenting what you do as if it's 4 hours.
Yeah.
Instead of all of the work that you do that encompasses that service. And that's why I marketed it that way. That was one of my unique brand points. It differentiated me from everybody else.
Yep.
That way, my brides and grooms were not worried about whether photography went long, because let's face it, is photography ever done on the timeline schedule? Never.
Not too often.
So you don't want your client worried about, oh my gosh, we're going to have to cut something or we're going to have to squeeze it all together. No, I just run the timeline and I keep the guests entertained till it comes out. So looking for what you can do differently, a lot of people revert to gear. Now, in my particular case, I did a large rock concert kind of ish show. So gear was definitely a component of it.
Yeah.
I had lots of it. What a lot of people didn't understand is I covered up the brands of all the lights and things I had, and I renamed them Drax lights, Drax effects. Why? Because it made them unique and it made them branded to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they might say, oh, that looks similar to a XYZ fixture, and say, yeah, it kind of is, but these are my lights. So the thing that you want to contemplate is how can you make yourself different? Now, in my case, one of my differentiating points was I built a very big show.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I charged you X amount of dollars for an event, there was no upsells. I brought every tool I had. Not so much, well, I brought every tool I had, but I didn't always put them up. I made the decisions in my planning process, what the event was going to look like, how it was going to look like. I'm totally against upsells. My reason being is I've got 200 potential customers in the audience. I want to meaningfully demonstrate all of the capabilities that I have.
Right.
I'm not worried about getting an extra $150 for a monogram. Would I want to not have a monogram and really make that event pop a little bit more just because somebody wanted more money? No, I just build it all in, and then I provide everything I choose or want to, or I can leave out what I choose or want to. So look at what you do better. If you've got a thin voice, look at you need to strengthen your voice.
Mm-hmm.
If you have poor mixing skills, here's another tip. Beat mixing is a core skill of anybody that calls himself a professional DJ. Now, sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
With that doesn't mean you have to beat mix.
Yep.
Not at all. What it means is the knowledge of beat mixing, the skills that go with it, change how we select music. It changes our programming, and it makes us better.
Yep.
And I'm not talking about just beat mixing with the numbers. I'm talking about beat mixing harmonically with the music key.
Yep.
This makes a huge difference. For me, it was a big brand point, was that I beat mixed. And yeah, I even let software do the mixing sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I not only beat mixed, but I harmonically mixed so that I could mix from country to urban. I would maintain a country crowd and add the urban crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Because the songs sounded harmonically comparable and complementary. So people didn't want to leave because it was a nice flow. Think about those things. I'm not saying you got to beat mix, but think about it as a skill you need to have. Just like being a master of ceremonies. DJs make announcements. Master of ceremonies provide instruction and deliver articulate, eloquent points that need to be raised during the course of the evening. Just because you write it down doesn't make it a master of ceremony script. Rather, it needs to be parsed and rehearsed, memorized if possible. But most importantly, you need to develop a mentor for master of ceremonies. You need to learn how to be effective at being a master of ceremonies. It's not about the words. It's not about the phraseology. So many times DJs, they get hung up on at this time, ladies and gentlemen, bride and groom. Mr. and Mrs. Jones. All of those things are just phrases. Don't get hung up on the phraseology. Get hung up on the delivery. That when you say something, it has an impact on the person that hears it. So with that, in your business plan, we talked, you're going to have a training budget. And that budget is money after all of the rest of the bills to run your business are paid, are there to help fund your training. Never, 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 never use credit cards to buy training. Never. It will not work. And I say that because doing so puts you behind in running a real business. If you're selling well and selling 40 events a year, you can, in your business plan, put a little slice away for training. And at the end of the year, you now have money to go take XYZ workshop, costs you nothing. You can go to a conference with great educational content, it costs you nothing. So these are the things that you wish to do in your business to differentiate yourself. There are some people that I think are trade show whores. They are at every trade show. As the American Disc Jockey Association, we exhibit at every show possible. And I can pretty much tell you, I see probably 70% of the same people everywhere.
Show,
Everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's a whistle stop, a truck stop, a big show, a small show. And I'm not downing them for going for education, but I wonder how many of them are actually taking education versus just taking a paid vacation. If you go to a lot of shows, here's how you tell the serious people. Your butts are in the seats at 8 o'clock in the morning for the first session, starting at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. That's the serious people. You need to be part of the serious people. Don't go to every show. It doesn't mean that they're not worthwhile, but look at the show offerings and say, does it justify the money I'm going to spend to attend? What do I hope to get from it? And how can I integrate that into my business to increase my profits? Because again, you're in business to make money, nothing else. Money. And why is that important? Because my goal is to help you be able to retire as a DJ, put your kids through college, buy a home, have a decent car, take a nice vacation, all from your income as a disc jockey. You can't do it if you're charging too little or doing it for stupid reasons. But don't charge too much and under-deliver. You want to under-promise, over-deliver, and you want to try to match that to where you get good referrals. And then you take the next step we're going to talk about, which is brand development.
Let's get the last branding. Let's dig into that one quick, and we'll wrap things up in a few minutes.
All right, brand development. Brand development simply means, what do you do to create a brand? Love him, hate him, Donald Trump is a brand guru.
Yes.
Nobody knows better how to manage and create brands than he does. If he doesn't like you, he'll figure out some little jingo name, and your low energy Jeb, your Lion Ted, Crooked Hillary. It doesn't matter the relative truth of any of these things. It's the issue that he understands branding and he understands the public sector. When I did my shows, all of my lights were Drax lights. It was a brand point. Lasers and things were Drax effects. With the automated confetti launchers, Drax effects. I had very customized clothing that if you go back in the archives of Mobile Beat, I hear they actually showed some pictures of that. Oh, heaven.
Yes, they did.
Okay. You got to see some of the original Drax wear. I called my clothes Drax wear. The events were Draxarian experiences. This is brand development. It's not ego. It's developing a brand that makes somebody want the brand so that they will choose that brand over something else which may be competitive. For example, if I say BMW, what do you think of?
You think of a quality car.
You think of the ultimate driving machine. Mercedes, class, refinement. You need to develop the brand that represents you. develop how to market, because this leads into how you market yourself. To make a business plan work, you need a marketing plan. Word of mouth referrals. Word of mouth referrals are not sufficient to build a business. They just aren't. There are some exceptions to that rule, but for the majority of DJs, it is not sufficient. So you need to do other elements, social media marketing, have a great website. You need to be networking with other event professionals. You need to be developing your connectivity organically in your market so that referrals come your way, not just from the work you do, but from the people you meet, the relationships that you have, and their connection to your brand. They have to buy your brand.
Yep.
Because consumers got lots of things falling. It must be an earthquake outside. Don't know if you heard that. And anyway, what you have to look at it with brand development is people buy brands. There's a reason people buy Vera Wang wedding gowns. There's a reason that guys want FUBU boots and clothing. There's a reason why people playing sports want Nike. They've developed brands. If you want a great study in brands, look at Coca-Cola. It's a cola beverage.
Mm-hmm.
It's carbonated water.
Yep.
And sugar. It's fizzy sugar water.
Some people and people will buy that, even though for most people, they feel RC Cola is a better drink. But they
if
going
you
back
go
to it.
anywhere in the world, anywhere on planet Earth, you will find Coca-Cola.
Yep.
It's advertised everywhere. There's a company that has the least reason to develop a brand.
Yep.
They already have one, but they continue to market that brand.
And build and push and develop it.
So those are the things I think are really important. Picking up a brand development. In future episodes, we're going to definitely expand on some of this and layer in some more pieces in how you really get started.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of the information, ladies and gentlemen, you can find some of that right now if you go to the link that's down in the description on the YouTube page. It's not on the Facebook page. If you're on the Facebook Live right now, you can go to the top. You'll see there's a YouTube link. That'll take you out to the video that we're referring to in the description of that. And sorry, that's a couple of clicks away, but we can't put a ton of stuff in the Facebook description before the show goes live. So pop out there. You're going to find some of this business discussion. And I think what our goal this summer is we're going to continue to build on this, but we're really going to focus it in application form. So you guys will be able to take it in small bites and apply it to your business right away. And that's really what, as someone mentioned, that they need to have a mentor. And to a point, this is going to be like a virtual mentorship for the summer, is helping you to take these bites, little pieces at a time, and improve your business.
Excellent. And as always, they can reach out to me on the ADJA's Facebook page or fan page. They can contact me directly via the ADJA offices. And if you're serious about really actually being in this business, join the ADJA. Be a part of the solution, the part that's going to change and continue to change this industry going forward.
For sure. We put the links, I believe, in the chats. I don't know if it's in both chats, but we'll make sure the links are in the descriptions and such of the videos here. So you guys can go pop out and check out the ADJA website. And I think there was another link I've got to get in there. So I'll get those links up here in just a couple of minutes. Just trying to do all the different chat rooms and everything at the same time here. So there's a lot of things going on. Drax, thank you very much for being on tonight. I think we've got about 2 weeks and we'll be back again, I believe. Yep. Something like that. So, gang, the schedule is out at djntv.com. Click on the left there. You'll see the ability to go check out the schedule for the summer. And then towards the bottom, I think, is where we talk about Tuesday nights. And down there's the dates in which we will be talking business with Drax. If you are interested in, a couple of you have asked tonight about the DJNTV Insider. That is also on djntv.com. You can go and click on that. And that's more of a where you can become a kind of a team member with us, be in this creating content for the industry and help us in that process. And also, that's part of being part of that is there's going to be a lot of mentorship going on back and forth between the Disc Jockey News writers and a lot of contributors and those of you who have questions. So check that out. It's again djntv.com. You can see the insider link. So Drax, once again, thank you very much, and we'll see you in about 2 weeks.
You bet. Thanks again, John. It's great to be here.
We'll be back in about a half an hour with Brian Red with the Tuesday Night Music Show.